Hi. Let me know if you can hear me. Hi. Okay, good. You can hear me. um if you have a question, then you can put it in. Okay, good. If you have a question, you can put it in the Q&A box. And how we're going to do it is like kind of just put the question, like the question itself in the box. And then if you have like you know, background information or anything else you want to share, then put it in the chat, because the box itself cuts off you guys' questions, so it can only be so long. So if you have a question, you can put it in the Q&A box, and then if you want to like tell me anything else, then you can put it in the chat. I'm gonna put that actually in the chat. Submit questions in the Q&A box. Hi. Oh, hi. I haven't seen you in some time. Submit questions only. Pin. Okay. So we'll do it that way. But how's everybody doing? How was your full moon? How was your weekend? How's your Monday going? The last time I went live, they didn't let me post it to my page because it had music, so there's no music today. But did you guys enjoy the full moon? It was a full moon in Libra. It was at 8 degrees Libra. So if you look at your birth chart, you'll see, you know, what house that happened in for you, to give you an idea of, you know, where your attention needs to be right now. What kind of themes are probably going on in your life right now. Like where you might want to focus your rituals or, you know, your practice at this time. A chill full moon. Cool. Yeah, it probably was, you know, depending on what house it was in. Because it was in Libra, like unless it was showing up for you like in another person, like in your face kind of way, it probably would be very, you know, chill, because, you know, Libra doesn't really like drama and confrontation, things like that. I'm wondering how to navigate losing familiar ground. Networks. It seems like the place I am in currently has a lot of misalignment and lack of support. So losing what's familiar to you because it doesn't seem to align with you anymore. in ways I desire to have it and feel like I need it. Oh, the support. In ways, a misalignment and lack of support in ways I desire to have it and feel like I need it. Yes. Yes. You may have, I'm a Leo sun, Aquarius moon, and Gemini rising, if that is of use. Especially because for as much as Libra doesn't like, confrontation, she does like independence, right? And a sense of self, a strong sense of self. So for you, it sounds like the full moon is really calling to your attention, you being more aware, right? More aware of who you are right now, like probably more than ever. You really having a strong sense of self or a strong understanding of what you want, right? So you're really kind of able to sift through now what it is that you want versus the past, so who you are now and what you want now versus who you were then and what you wanted then. And so feeling like people have slipped away because they simply don't align anymore. Hi. Hi. So definitely the full moon calling that to your attention or bringing that up for you is moving on the thing to do. Okay, let's see. So let's use the Vision Quest. That's what I have today, and the Chrysalis, right? This is also my favorite deck. So I wanted to share it with you guys. But is moving on the right thing to do? Let's see. Yes. Right? Yes. So you get the Son of Air, right? Which is like the Knight of Swords. You get the Ace of Fire, which is the Ace of Wands. You get the Five of Air, which is the Five of Swords. And you get the Eight of Water, which is the Eight of Cups, which is literally like the card of walking away, right? So, and then you get the Six of Cups on the bottom, right? So perhaps, I mean, on one hand, it feels like you're talking about a particular person walking away from them. But also in the same light as the other woman who mentioned, things not aligning anymore. There's probably, just, you can kind of group a lot of things into that category, not just the person. So like, people, places, and things from your past that probably are familiar, or that you feel yourself beginning to, need to separate yourself from. And so this literally feels like, feeling the fear, but needing to do it anyway. Or, wanting what you want more than what you fear the results will be, or what you fear the outcome will be of you leaving or walking away. So, wanting it more than you fear it. But like, even if I could go through the deck, right, and pick cards that say walk away, like, these are the cards that you got, right? You got the Son of Air, the Knight of Swords, which is one of the fastest cards in the deck, along with the Ace of Wands, right? And then along with the Eight of Cups, So this, it doesn't feel like a drawn out kind of an answer, right? It feels like something that you probably already known, and just, want the support, also in alignment with what was mentioned before, with the other woman, wanting to feel supported in walking away, wanting to feel supported in making the right decision, or doing what you need to do for yourself, right? Or the emotional part, needing the hand holding of it's okay, or feeling more so for the other person, right, and how they feel, more than doing what is right for you, right? So it feels like you've probably been getting these nudges from your team for some time to to move in a new direction, and this just feels like confirmation of, yes, it's time to move in a new direction, it's time to walk away. That yes, it's painful or hurtful or a sensitive topic, right? Especially if you've known this person for a long time, or you have that emotional connection with this person, but that it's necessary for you, right? Yeah. And it really is, with the full moon in Libra, like I said, it really is now about a lot of people really claiming their independence, and reimagining, right? Re-envisioning what a future looks like, without being partnered, or without someone else, right? So what are you going to do, even if you're the only one in the picture, right? And kind of, even though that can be scary, but, looking to imagine, looking to create an imagination around what that could possibly look like, right? And sometimes that'll be, that can feel scary initially, because then it's a lot of unknown, and I'm alone, and I don't know what's going to happen. And kind of being used to leaning on that person or another person, to kind of make decisions together, or, them being your kind of safeguard, right? But this time is really pushing everyone, to really know what it is to be a whole person, right? And to move independently. And because sometimes being dependent, can be a crutch, it can be a crutch. And so it's more so thinking of it like a muscle, right? That's being exercised right now, that's needing to be strengthened right now. But you are being supported, right? You are being guided now more than ever, to kind of to minimize that sense of loneliness. Now is the time to really strengthen your connection with your spirit team, strengthen your connection with your ancestors, strengthen your connection with yourself, just like look at it more so as on the journey of empowering yourself, right? Or being empowered, becoming empowered. So not so much looking at what you're leaving behind, but more so who you're becoming and who you're stepping into, right? But you're doing it, right? And you will do it. You're doing it and you will do it. And it's not like saying, oh, don't be afraid. Like, sometimes you have to feel the fear and do it anyways, right? Do it anyways. Let's see. Career message. Let's use the chrysalis, because I feel like it's like a like a creative deck. Okay, so you get the Two of Spirals. You get the Empress. You get the Dreamer, the Knight of Cups. And you get the Seven of Stones, which is the Seven of Pentacles. This was the Two of Wands. And then on the bottom of the deck, you get the Ten of Spirals, which is the Ten of Wands. So this actually feels like, I feel like the intention with the question was kind of like what more I could be doing, or what more to do, or what new to do. But this kind of feels like taking a break, or doing less than you usually do. So kind of lightening your load. This feels like powerhouse kind of energy. So it's probably normal, or feels normal, to have a lot on your plate, or to be doing a lot, or to have lots of projects going, or lots of fires burning. Because you have the energy to, you know, to be capable of doing the work, right? But this feels like kind of taking more of that energy and turning it inwards, being more of kind of tailoring the work towards things that you love to do. So not really serving, you know, like people going to a restaurant, they want peas and cabbage, and it's like, you know, and you've been giving them the peas and cabbage because that's what the people want, that's what they need. But it's like, no, you know, I want to make rice and beans today, or, you know, it's like, that's what's driving my creativity today, to do that. And you're going to eat it and you're going to love it, right? Because it's made with love. So it feels like having the love or the creativity drive the work that you do, rather than the demand, rather than what people are coming to you for, or used to coming to you for. And it feels like taking less projects, or taking on less, in order to be able to sit in that explorative space and see, you know, what is it that I want to do now, or what makes me, what is just pure happiness, or, you know, where is my heart wanting to be right now? What is it wanting to do? Two of Wands. And that does feel like moving in a new direction, in a sense. So it may not be even, so it feels like that kind of weighing, you know, is it doing more of the same of what I already know that I love, doing more of that? Or is it, you know, exploring and saying, you know, what new could I possibly love, and what new could I possibly love, and then share it or offer it to other people. But the first step really feels like turning the love that you give to everyone else to yourself, right? So it really does feel like taking a little bit of not a break, because you feel like that person that everyone is going to come to anyway. So it's like, you know, like like the mother who, even when they go to the bathroom, you know, you see the kids' fingers under the door. It feels like, you know, even if you were to take a so-called break, you know, they would find you, right? So you're not taking a slight break, right? Doing a little bit less, or not doing as much, you know, not exerting, you know, seeking or going out, you know, putting the effort out as much, you know. So like maybe you're the person who tends to check up on people, or, you know, see how are you doing, or what do you need, right? You know, like offering your own services or your own efforts, right, to others. And it feels like, you know, just doing that a little less, you know, reserving some of that energy for yourself more. And in the time that you're doing that, it feels like new things, you know, presenting themselves to you that you're going to find that you love, and that you didn't even know that you loved. And, you know, you becoming aware of how it is that you can share that newfound love and joy with others. So do less, right? Do less. Being inspired by the possibilities. Yeah. You know, just, like, just enjoying your own life more, right? Enjoying your own life more, and from there you can give. Like once you've enjoyed that time, it feels like, just being in a bounty, like I said, like the powerhouse, like always used to giving, but it's like, does the king enjoy the castle, so it's like enjoy your own castle, have fun more. And then, when you feel like it, right, when you feel like giving, right, giving from that space of, hey, I tried this new thing, or I did this new thing, or I love this new thing. Right? It feels like I'm feeling like she needs to do less, right? Not more. She needs to do less and be in the love. Like I feel like just needing to float a little more. Will I be able to repair the relationship with my old friends? Let's stick with this one, the Chrysalis deck. Okay, so you get the Four of Scrolls, the Ace of Scrolls, which is swords, right? You get the Star, and you get the King of Spirals, which is the King of Wands. And then these two cards popped out, right? Which is the Ten of Wands and the Wheel of Fortune. And on the bottom of the deck, you get the Page of Pentacles. Taking a moment from the cards, right? It feels like really, again, like all of you guys' readings are kind of threading together, right? But it feels like needing to take some of that energy and reserve it for yourself right now. Like the biggest thing I'm wanting to do is just like, love on myself, right? And just spend time with myself and nurture myself, so that even though friendships would help in that way, like genuine friendships, it feels like it would also be an interference at this time, or like a disruption, or a distraction at this time, right? It feel like nurturing a relationship right now, especially one that needs repair, right? That's a lot of work, right? That's a lot of effort that you would have to devote to repairing a relationship. It feels like that would take away from the energy that you need to be giving to yourself right now. So it feels like, because the Star comes up, right? It does feel like that's something that is possible for the future. And it feels like even in doing so, you'd have to be very intentional. So it couldn't just be, repairing the relationship to be what it was, right? It would have to be more so, because like even if you wanted to maybe have a conversation, right? Have a conversation just to put things at ease, maybe like, clear the slate, right, to make things okay, or be at peace, or even have some resolution or closure to the past. That feels like one thing, right? But it feels like in terms of creating a new friendship, you would have to be very intentional, very deliberate about that person's place in your life now, and if there is a place for that person in your life now, what would the sort of like the nature of the relationship be now, or the standards there, right? So maybe things that were tolerated before, or maybe the level of communication that was there before. It feels like you're someone else now, basically, right? So if you're gonna become friends with someone old, you have to be very clear that that person knows who you are today, right? So it feels like, the possibility is there, right, to plant new seeds for it to become something, but in the future. Right now, it feels like, while you're taking that time with yourself, loving yourself, it feels like you can start to, in that space, explore who it is that you are now, right? Who it is that you want to be now, what it is that you need, what it is that, you require now out of your friendships, because, 5 years ago, what you needed isn't what you need now, right? Or the things that, just in your day-to-day, your lifestyle then isn't what it is now either. Yeah, so it feels like your needs have changed, and it feels like you need to take some time to recognize, right? To be aware of what those needs are before you can build a relationship with someone, especially a relationship that requires, healing and fixing, right? Repairing. Let's see. Feels anxious, like something is on the horizon, or big decisions to be made is something. I guess that says there's something coming. Let's see. Vision Quest. Good. They're having me shuffle a long time. Over the last couple of years, so many milestones. Yeah. Okay, so usually when I shuffle a long time, and especially because you started off saying the anxious feeling, so it feels like, needing to ground, right? Like, the mind plays tricks, or, the mind, like letting the mind have a mind of its own, right? Letting it do what it wants to do. And it feels like letting the mind get away from you at times, right? So thinking the worst, right? And then so the first card that comes up is the Eight of Swords, right? So it feels like getting caught up in the headspace, thinking too much, and letting the negative ones win, right? Letting the doom and gloom ones win, right? You get the Daughter of Water, which is the Page of Cups, and you get the Son of Water, which is the Knight of Cups. And then the Three of Earth, right, which is the Three of Pentacles. And at the bottom of the deck is the Ten of Earth, right, the Ten of Pentacles. So this literally feels like, okay, so in the movie Sex and the City, when Charlotte, they're in Mexico, and she's having a baby, and she's married, and it's taken forever for her to have a child, and she never thought it was possible. And and then she's in Mexico, and she poops at herself, right? And it's like she had been stressing and thinking the worst. Am I gonna lose this baby? Something bad is gonna happen. Things are too good, right? And especially because Carrie, she had just gotten left at the altar, so she's like, everything bad is happening for other people. Something bad must be happening to me, or must be about to happen to me. And Carrie tells her, like, you shit yourself in Mexico, like, you're good. Like, that's your bad thing, right? So it kind of feels like things are good for you, enjoy that. Sometimes when, you look around and so much devastation, bad things are happening all over the place, or when you see yourself making progress amidst that, or you see yourself doing well amidst that, it feels like, no, that this can't be possible for me, right? It can't be possible for me to be happy, or for me to be healthy, or for me to, feel good about things, while other people, are going through it, or, are feeling bad, or are losing people, or, are having a lot of struggles, right? So it feels like things are going really well for you, like, especially when I see the 10 of earth, it feels like just pure abundance, and it feels like, especially with the 3 of pentacles, it feels like really starting to see growth or improvement with things that you've initiated, or, recently begun or collaborated with others on, right? And it feels like, things are going well, right? Things are going well. So enjoy that, don't think, this is where the reprogramming comes in, right? So in the past, you're used to, oh, things are going well, something bad must be about to happen, right? So in reprogramming yourself, you need to say, things are going well, I'm going to enjoy that, right? Things are going well, I'm going to make the most of it. I'm going to ride this wave, right? I'm going to be in this moment. I'm going to feel how good this feels. I'm going to see what possibilities this could lead to, right? I'm not going to, go to E, right? I'm not going to let my brain go to E, right? I'm going to keep it on full. So, and then with the, something about this actually feels like the relationship with your brother, or with a brother, right? Because it feels like kind of needing to return to, it feels like needing to return to sort of like that sibling relationship, or the joys of a sibling relationship. Because typically if I'd have seen, a pair like this in the same suit, I would have thought, romantic partnership, right? But this feels more innocent than that, right? It feels more like, pure, happy, joy, and being able to relate in that space, right? So anybody in your life who you would consider to be your equal, on your level, or who can relate to who you are, at a certain level of knowing who it is that you are at your core, who you can be open with or vulnerable about certain things, right? This doesn't feel necessarily like, pouring out your heart, but just someone who knows you, right? Someone who you would consider, oh, this person knows me, or knew me back when, or knew me at this age, or, when things were easy, right? It feels like it's coming up to have, to reconnect in that way with that person. And it feels like a sibling. So that just feels like an extra message, right? It's like, we're talking about this, right? But then they're like, well, slide that in there, right? so they know about that too, right? But things are fine. Get out of your head, enjoy it. Keep making your progress. Keep growing what you already see, starting to bud and blossom, right? Yeah. You're doing well. I'm doing well. I'm going to enjoy it. Yes. That's right. Will my current path of wellness actually work for my goals? What can I incorporate to get the most out of it? Let's see. I guess I'll use this chrysalis. Well, my current path of wellness. Let's actually use the vision quest, because this feels. Will my current path of wellness actually work for my goals? Okay, let's see. Yes. So you get the Father of Water, which is the King of Cups. You get 14, which is like Temperance. You get 4 of Water, which is 4 of Cups. And you got 21, which is the World. And then the bottom of the deck, you get the Strength card. A few things though, right? So let me sit with it for a moment. The main thing that came to my mind first was the King of Cups, right? Which feels like a father. So I don't know if maybe it was the health of an elder in your life that made you, you know, kind of have this realization like, I need to take better care of myself, right? Or if you have an elder male who's crossed over recently or who had health issues, right, that made you, again, that brought it to the forefront of, you know, I need to do everything that I can do, right, for myself, to take care of myself. But it feels like a specific person having that impact, or, you know, or putting it on your mind, you know, like being the reason for it, right? Whether here or spiritually. And it does feel like, so whatever new regimen, right, that you've implemented, it feels like in doing that, right, rest needs to be a big one for you. And also, so like being able to distinguish your time. So perhaps your scheduling, or, you know, how it is you go about your day is one of the things that you're changing up. So maybe being more deliberate in how it is that you're spending your time. But it feels like needing to distinguish between when you're resting, meaning doing nothing, right? When you're resting, and when you're, you know, doing things that provide you joy, or, you know, or when you're doing something for you, like a self-care, right? So needing to be clear, like this is the time when I'm resting, right? When I'm doing little to nothing, right? And then here's when I'm, you know, maybe doing a hobby, enjoying something to pass the time, or exploring, trying something new, right? So getting clear in creating your new schedule, how that time is being spent, right? So how you're splitting up your time. What else? It also feels like perhaps, you know, like this is probably something that you started before. So it feels like, on one hand, needing to revisit the ways that you did this before, or things that you started before, you know, and picking them up again, right? It feels like not leaving something stagnant or letting it go by the wayside. So maybe even in the past you've started before and maybe just stopped, right? So there's the reminder to be aware of that pattern, to not repeat it, right? To keep moving forward with what you've begun. And then also to look to how you were able to either be successful in the past, or what worked for you in the past, right? So that you can incorporate that into how you're doing it this time. Because it feels like you have things that, it feels like, you know, like instead of going out and buying the new thing, right? It feels like you have things, right, home that, or, you know, already in your wheelhouse, or already in your arsenal, right? Already in your toolkit, right? Already in your closet, right? That you can use. So it's like when people start a new, like, let's say they started yoga, it's like, oh, let me go get some new pants, or, you know, a new block, right? Or new expanders, or whatever it is, right? And you know, sometimes that can be a good motivation, because it's like, you know, I want to wear the pants, you know, that'll make me feel good about doing the new thing. But it also feels like you got 10 pairs of pants, right, at home. So, you know, don't get lost in needing to accumulate or add to, you know, to what you already have, but just, you know, see what you have, what you can use that you already have. But it does feel really good, right? With the World card, if part of this feels like something that, you know, has been a long time coming, or sort of like a finally, or you know, it feels like in a way something about this will take you to the next level, or you know, like just something is like when you're in school and you need to take that final test to go to the next grade. It's like, okay, she's finally coming to take the test to go to the next grade, you know. So it feels like that thing of, okay, she's finally doing the thing, you know, that she needs to do, or one of the things, right, to get to that next page. So it's encouraged. It does feel like you will be successful. It feels like you have experience with this thing, or at least, you know, some background, some knowledge about it. So that will help, you know, it to be successful for you. But it'll also add to, you know, you feeling confident in being able to complete it this time around, or stick with it, right? Make it a routine. So it feels good. And it feels like, you know, adding to your life force, you know, adding to your vitality, adding to your willpower, right? Adding to your confidence. So that's always good. Stick with it, right? Don't drop it. Stick with it. Okay, I think that was everybody. We already got that one. Yay, good. Good. Hi. What else? Anybody else? Are you guys drinking your water? Are you remembering to drink your water? Have you been feeding your ancestors, right? I have to like remind you. Did you guys do any rituals for the full moon? Or have you been thinking about any rituals? Or anything that, I guess, any new practices that you're going to put in place? Good. What else has been coming up for you guys? We have, like each time I do these, there'll be, you know, like that thread. So, you know, independence, right? Seeing what it is that, and in finding your independence, seeing what it is that makes you whole, right? Makes you feel complete. So in getting to know yourself again, right? You find the things that you love, you find the things that you can't, you know, accept, right, or tolerate anymore. You find what adds to you or pours into you, or what depletes you. And so then when you find what those things are, right, like when you're able to sort out the piles, right, then it's being consistent, following through, right, and having the right mindset in place, so that, you know, when you start the thing, you can, you know, continue with the thing, you know, at least until you're able to see some results, right, or some return. Because when you see the return, then it's like, you know, that's sort of like the reward, or the things that you're working towards, right? So it's being diligent, right, being committed, at least, you know, far enough along until you see your first sign of results. Let's see. What do I need to focus on the most right now? Let's see. Let's use chrysalis. This feels like immediately it feels like needing to ground, right? I have a head cleanse that's in my highlights that I would very much recommend, because even in pulling the cards, it felt like, whoa, it felt like a spinning in the head, so needing to clear the head space and needing to ground your body, right? So what you get, right, is the 10 of Swords. You get the 2 of Wands. You get the 7 of Swords. And then you get the Knight of Pentacles. So what this feels like is like false truths, right? Or false beliefs, right? So thinking things that aren't necessarily real, right? So sometimes if you have a false belief system, right, sometimes the mind will, hypothesize as to what something means rather than the reality of the situation, right? So something may happen, and then because of your belief system, the belief system will tell you, oh, that must be what that meant, right? But in reality, that wasn't the case, right? So it feels like believing things that aren't true and then acting from that place of believing something that isn't true. And because of that, things being slow moving, or like the self-fulfilling prophecies, or I knew that would happen, and then it happened, right? But really it's you believe that happened, it happened because you believed that it would happen, right? Not really the other way around. So it feels like needing to clear the head space, right? Also needing to be aware of sort of your environment, or what has come out of you being in that space of not being sure, or questioning things, or not having all the information, right? Like see what has become of that space, or you being in that space, right? And kind of cleaning house, right? Kind of really cleaning house. But starting with yourself, right? So I would say the focus right now would be on getting your headspace to one that feels grounded, to one that feels clear. So whatever it would take for you to feel, like that you have clarity, right? That could be a retreat, getting away, or a staycation, right? It feels like needing to kind of separate from others right now, until you find your own peace of mind, or because it starts to become like entrapment, right? Or self-imposed entrapment. And kind of just surrounding yourself with things that aren't true, right? And so the feeling is like wanting to take her out of that, self-imposed entrapment and free her, right? So it would be, you freeing yourself, right? You freeing yourself from the ways in which you feel trapped. And it starts, for you, it feels like with, clearing the headspace, getting some peace, so that you can see clearly, right? So that you can see clearly. So go to my stories, the highlights, and there's a head cleanse there. Or if you message me, right? If you message me, I'll send it to you. But start there, right? If you have a altar space or a sacred space set up, I would, recommend visiting there often. Because it feels like just needing to return to you, so maybe you've taken in too much information from others, or relied on it too much, or, believed, or either believed too much of what others are telling you and not relying on your own, wisdom, you know, your own truth, what's true for you, or still believing, you know, things of the past, or, you know, your maybe even your upbringing that, you know, no longer fit with you or no longer resonate with you. But either way, right, regardless, it's like they need to go, right? You need to get out of here so that you can think for yourself, you can act for yourself, and then you'll also start to see more of a pace picking up, you know, because it feels like kind of being at a roadblock. Like that's in part your own causing, but like others as well, but an allowance of others to create that blockage as well. So kind of needing to be a little more dedicated to, you know, cleansing, to clearing out, you know, kind of like flushing out. That could include like detox, you know, like a juice cleanse, you know. You can make it something that you do on multiple levels, right? So cleaning out your home, or, you know, just being very intentional, very ritualistic about the cleaning process or the clearing out process, right? So that it's done on multiple levels. Hi. Okay. I think that was everybody. Ooh. If there's, it's gonna wait a minute. I wanted to make sure everybody, you know, got a question answered. Oh, you're welcome. So it's in my highlights, or you can message me and I'll send it to you if you can't find it. Okay, everybody, thank you so much for coming. I'm going to try to post this to my page. There isn't any music, so Instagram should let me do that. And I will come back and do this again. Okay. Have a great Monday. Bye.